Well, the time is almost here, and it doesn't get better than this. Eagles-Giants playoff football tomorrow night. Which team will come out victorious? We'll break down what the Birds need to do in order to move on to the NFC Championship. What is going on, everyone? Welcome into A to Z Philly, your number one home for Eagles coverage. Hit the like button if you enjoy this content and subscribe to A to Z Philly here on YouTube so you don't miss any of the coverage. Today, we are back, and it's almost 24 hours away. A divisional showdown at the Linc, 8:15 p.m. Giants riding a high off of last week, and the Eagles, who have not played in 2 weeks, trying to come out and dominate like the best team in the league as they have been all season long. A lot to talk about, a lot of storylines. We will get into the specifics of what the Birds need to do in order to get the job done. But the Eagles open up as a 7.5 point favorite in this game. And you know what? I said I wanted the Giants, and I'm still confident. Yes, the Giants have been playing well, but I think the journey run ends here. I really do. And I think the Eagles are going to come out and establish themselves early and handle business. And you know what? I'm taking the spread. I'm taking the Eagles on the 7.5 point spread. And you can do the same. You can turn your loss into a win this weekend with our newest sponsor here on A to Z Philly, BetMGM. Turn your loss into a win by placing a one-game parlay this weekend with at least 4 legs on any pro football game. If all of the legs of the parlay hit but one, you will get your stake back in free bets up to $25. Log into your account or download the app and sign up with the BetMGM app using code ATOZPA to take advantage of this offer all season long. Just opt into the promotion, place a one-game parlay wager with 4 legs or more on any pro football game this weekend. If you miss only one leg on your wager, you'll receive up to $25 back in free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Pennsylvania only. New and existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, man, let's get into this one. It is going to be very interesting. The Giants, like I said, riding a high of confidence, and the Eagles needing to come out, establishing themselves early. Dave Zangaro reporting that the Eagles will have a little bit of juice here at the beginning as a trio of Super Bowl 52 champs, Torrey Smith, Malcolm Jenkins, and Brent Selleck, will be Eagles honorary captains on Saturday night versus the Giants. That would be pretty cool. You know, get the crowd going. The Giants coming into a hostile environment. I'm telling you right now, the Linc is going to be absolutely buzzing. You might hear it across all of Philadelphia. It is going to be insane. I cannot wait to see the atmosphere and the final injuries. So Lane Johnson was a full participant in practice per Dave Zangaro. This was yesterday, so he is playing. He's good to go. We know that Lane Johnson is playing through a tough injury. Hopefully he will be able to prevail and be the protection that Jalen Hurts needs. We know Jalen is going to heavily need that protection, especially against the New York Giants. Also, Avonte Maddox has officially been ruled out. This was expected, right? The Eagles knew this for a couple weeks, and it seems like Maddox is probably going to be out the rest of the season, barring a miracle, which stinks, but the Eagles have enough depth to kind of pick up on that, so we'll see how some of these other guys, pick up, whether it's Josiah Scott, right, and some guys shifting around, maybe C.J. Gardner-Johnson, so we will see what happens. Also, quickly, the Eagles have elevated Anthony Harris to the active roster, which is interesting. Maybe the Eagles looking for some more depth, a guy who's been there, had some of those moments, and a guy who's used to the Eagles squad, right? I mean, it was a couple years ago, and or even last year, and the Eagles just signed him a couple weeks ago to be on the practice squad. So it will be interesting to see how this all plays out. And for the Giants, it really seems that the only questionable guy is Azeez Ojulari. So we'll see if he is able to go. It looked like he was a limited participant all week, and looks like we're shaping up for a pretty healthy game here. But in terms of the keys of this game, what do the Eagles need to do? Let me know. What do they need to do to come out here and establish themselves as the dominant team and win this football game? I think my first and foremost key, now, to kind of preclude everything else, right? Jalen Hurts has to be healthy. He needs to be himself. He was not on the injury report this week. That's a great sign. He seems to be getting back in a rhythm, and, Jalen Hurts looks to be himself. So that's going to be huge. Will he run a lot? That's a different question, and it's something that I think is up to him and the coaching staff, and, it'll be interesting to see what they kind of put together in terms of a game plan. But that kind of takes me to my first key. The Eagles need to establish themselves without revealing everything right away. Now, what I mean by that is the Eagles last game, they come out and they throw the ball, 10, 11, 12, 13 times to begin the football game. You cannot do that in this game. You need to come out and identify a balanced offense from the jump. Now, I understand the Eagles are going to win this football game in the air. That has been their MO. That's their formula. That's what Shane Steichen will do. And I understand that absolutely 100%. They have the weapons. They have more talent on the wideouts. They have Dallas Goedert. I get that. But you have the commodity of a Pro Bowl rusher. You have a guy who is known as the giant killer, even though Wink Martindale doesn't want to admit it. Boston Scott can absolutely tear up these linebackers, and he can create for himself in space. And Boston Scott's a weapon you can use in this game. The Eagles have talent across the board. They need to come out and establish a couple long drives to begin the football game. And on the turn, they need to stop the Giants from doing so, because as we talked about on Monday last week, the Giants had a 20-play, 11-minute drive against the Vikings. That kind of set the tone for the football game, right? The Giants did not let them get going after the first drive or two, and they were able to waste almost a whole quarter. So which team will be able to control the clock and get more possessions in this game? Who will control the time of possession? I think that's a huge one. And the Eagles need to come out, utilize Miles Sanders, try to get in those third and short situations, and then let Jalen go, man. There's a lot you can do. And, I think Jalen's going to rise to the occasion. I think he's going to have a huge game. And, you need to keep your offense, on the field. You need to get those boys on the field, score points. That's what the Eagles do to win games. Yes, their defense has been amazing, but they're looking to score points. You can't go out with a 3 and out, and then another 3 and out, and then you're struggling, and then it's, you start to question yourself. You get to halftime and you only have 6 points. You can't do that in this game. Take advantage of them early on, and kind of get that rhythm going. The second thing is, I think that the Eagles need to win the turnover battle, right? You look at the Eagles, you look at the Giants. Daniel Jones has been playing pretty clean football. I will admit, I wanted the Eagles-Giants game. I thought the Eagles would win by 2 touchdowns. I'm not going to go that far now because I think Daniel Jones has some confidence and swagger to him, but Jones, the thing about him is that he can run and he also plays a clean game. And looking at this season, Jalen Hurts has done the same thing, right? He has played a clean game as well. Which team will be able to force those turnovers and get the ball in an optimal position? I think that'll be huge in this game. Whichever team does get that 1 or maybe 2 key turnovers might win this football game if they get a short field. So it's going to be interesting to see, what kind of defense Jonathan Gannon comes out with. We can echo the same thing as we have all year, but right now, Jonathan Gannon cannot have one of those traditional first halves where he lets the opposing quarterback go 11 for 12, 12 for 13. That cannot happen in this football game. And not to take any credit away from Daniel Jones, but the Daniel Jones from 6 weeks ago is not the Daniel Jones now. The Daniel Jones from 6 weeks ago, though, cannot withstand pressure. And the Eagles have one of the best defensive lines in history. You need to draw up some creative things. You need to bring pressure early, in my opinion. And obviously, you want to stop Saquon on the ground, which the Eagles can do. But you have Josh Sweat, you have Reddick, you have Graham, Hargrave, all these guys. You need to go out there and put a little bruising on Daniel Jones. The Giants are going to try to do that with Jalen Hurts. The Eagles need to go out there and get a couple sacks in the first half. Set the tone, right? Set the tone. That's what the Eagles need to do. They need to cut all sorts of life from that Giants offense, or else, if they go on an 8-9 minute drive, then you're looking up and it's like, okay, well, when are we going to get going? Nick Sirianni's looking up like, yo, Shane, let's get something rolling here. But I mean, it's, you have to stop them right away. You cannot let the Giants go out and get a big lead early on, which I don't think will happen. But you have this talent. JG, you cannot play conservative like you did in the playoff game last year. And he has been known to do that sometimes. So we'll see how that plays out. The last thing I think is just the momentum of it. And not to say that I'm nervous the Eagles are going to lose. I think the Eagles are going to win this game by about 8 to 10 points. I do think the Eagles will prevail, even if they start slow and they still have some of that rust. I just think the talent across the board, up and down the stat sheet, is just much more apparent for the Eagles. But They need to come out and play like the confident team. You're playing in front of your home crowd in one of the best cities in America. You're playing in one of the best fan bases. And the Giants are not ready, okay? I'm sorry. The Giants played the Vikings, who, had a good record. They were not that good of a team. This is a different beast. Coming to the Linc is a different beast. That crowd is going to be ready. They are going to be fired up, knowing they are one game away from the NFC Championship. And Daniel Jones has never played in an environment like he is about to play in tomorrow night. So the Eagles need to come out with the swagger. Do not let the Giants punch you in the mouth. Daboll's a great coach. He toughs up his guys. Don't let them come out and punch you in the mouth right away. Get your style of game going and control. Establish yourself early on. Don't give them any chance to stay in this game. I think this game will be closer than people imagine. I don't think it's going to be a 14-point win, but I do have the Eagles winning by 8 to 10 points. I think Jalen needs to play good. I think the Eagles need to play a clean game, and they just need to do what got them to this point. Do not overthink the game plan. The Giants are a good team. They've been good in the red zone. Keep them out of the end zone. Limit them to 3. The little things will add up, right? All the obvious things. Don't get penalized too much. Play a clean game overall and go out there and utilize all your weapons. Be explosive. I want Boston Scott to go out there and score 2 touchdowns. I want something crazy like that to happen. It'll be interesting to see what happens. 3 of the 4 final teams in the NFC East. How will it play out? Give me your thoughts down below in the comment section. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And like always, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.